Alright, we're going now. Morning, guys. This is my policy speech for my speech class. Should take about 6 to 8 minutes. We'll just go ahead and get started. According to Stop Smoking Center's website, secondhand smoking is a combination of over 4,000 different chemical compounds, including nicotine, carbon monoxide, ammonia, formaldehyde, and arsenic. According to their website, that they state that there is higher concentrations of the above chemicals in secondhand smoke than mainstream smoke. They state that over 3 times the amount of tar is in secondhand smoke, up to 5 times the amount of carbon monoxide is in secondhand smoke, and up to 6 times the amount of nicotine is in secondhand smoke. Since this is a speech where I have to propose a law, I propose a law that there should be a federal law that bans smoking in enclosed areas. This law, I would like to call it the secondhand killer law. I will cover 3 main points why I believe that the secondhand killer law should be immediately implemented. The first, secondhand smoke is killing the non-smokers, and some of the smokers, not all of them, seem content to let it happen. I believe with immediate implementation of the secondhand smoking law, the problem can be slowed down. With this law in place, the third point, with this law in place and being actively enforced as much as possible, the non-smoking population, especially our children, will live longer, happier, and healthy lives. And as far as the inside the house, if you smoke inside the house, it's not a good idea, because inside the house the smoke builds up and yellows the walls. Secondhand smoke, to go a little bit more in deeper depth on the first point, secondhand smoke is killing off the non-smoking population, and that needs to change yesterday. Who, how, and what does secondhand smoke affect? Firstly, it affects our unborn children. If the amounts of tar and nicotine are higher in secondhand smoke than they are in mainstream smoke, and the mainstream smoke, according to the Surgeon General, is bad for the unborn kids, and the concentrations are higher in the secondhand smoke, I can't really see where the secondhand smoke would be better for the kids, for the unborn children. My second subpoint under that would be secondhand smoke is harming our children. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention website states that secondhand smoke causes ear infections, more frequent and severe asthma attacks, respiratory symptoms, respiratory infections, and has a greater risk for SIDS as far as our kids go. Also, the CDC states, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that U.S. children 18 months or younger secondhand smoking is responsible for 150,000 to 300,000 cases of bronchitis and pneumonia annually. Also, as far as for the adult non-smokers, secondhand smoke can cause lung cancer in people that have never smoked. That is according to the American Cancer Society's website, per the Surgeon General's report. They also state that chemicals in tobacco smoke damage sperm, which might reduce fertility and harm fetal development. Also, there are astronomical costs associated with secondhand smoke. In the U.S. alone, the cost of extra medical care, illness, and death caused by secondhand smoke are over $10 billion per year. With the last 2 points being in mind, that it harms our kids, harms unborn, and harms adults, there has to be a way that we can fix this. I believe that, my second point, I believe with immediate implementation of the secondhand smoking law, the problem can be slowed down. How can we implement the law to protect the unborn children? I propose random drug tests on pregnant women. I understand that's going to be a little hard to enforce. If in the right situation, I would suggest child abuse charges if they're actually purposely being around smokers and not making an attempt to get away from them in an enclosed area. If they are actually caught smoking a cigarette, I propose a fine and jail. In order to implement the secondhand killer law for children, we've all been going down the road. We look over, there's a car, we pass a car, there's two kids strapped to the back seat of the car. Mom or dad's up front chain smoking. Them kids can't get out of that car. I mean, that's not good for the kids. Once again, I propose child abuse charges be filed there. As far as the adults go, there's 3 or 4 different places where a lot of the secondhand smoke comes from. Work being one of them, public buildings, restaurants, and your home. We're all adults here. If somebody's smoking in the house, we should be smart enough to say, hey, can you go outside, or hey, go outside ourselves to get away from that secondhand smoke. With that being said, it does seem harsh, but I think with the implementation of this law, I think we could live healthier and happier lives. My third and last point, with this law in place and actively enforced as much as possible, non-smokers, especially our children, will live longer and have longer